If ever I felt the utter bareness of words, their total inadequacy to give expression to the heart's own language, it is now. That quote is from Samuel Beatty Wilson. Now, although the language is a little more formal, a little more dated or stilted than what you would use today, look at the situation a little more carefully before you discard it as an outdated expression. It's Samuel Beatty Wilson's last meeting as a senior before he graduates and leaves his chapter. And those are the beginning of his remarks to his brothers. I suspect that most of you also have similar senior meetings or ceremonies where your outgoing seniors are honored and offer their last comments to their chapter as an undergraduate. And likewise, I suspect that most of your brothers, speaking from the heart, become emotional about the bonds of brotherhood they've forged at your chapter or colony. That's the aspect of our fraternity that is perhaps the most visible and most cherished, our brotherhood. In a moment, we're going to talk a little further about a second opportunity, a second gift our fraternity has that all of you can embark on shortly. But first, let's continue to focus on this most cherished aspect of our fraternity, our brotherhood. Samuel Beatty Wilson continues his comments. I thank you that you have been my friends, most of you tried and true, never deserting me in my hour of adversity, always rejoicing with me in my hour of triumph. The many happy hours of time together shall ever form the brightest, sunniest spots in all the vista of human memory. Now again, although our language may have changed significantly perhaps since 1848, the incredible point to consider is that what has not changed in 164 years is the depth of the brotherhood formed by our fraternity. It's very evident from that language that Samuel Beatty Wilson felt every bit as strongly about his brothers in 1848 as you feel about your brothers today. Now, although our founders may not have formed the bonds of their brotherhood the same way that you do today, although I must confess it's rather intriguing to imagine the founders saddling up for a spring break road trip to Fort Lauderdale, Girls Gone Wild with Wet Bloomer contest or something. But the bonds formed by our fraternity over 164 years and across chapters and countries, bonds formed doing community service projects, studying, participating in intramurals, or helping each other through difficult times. Those fraternal bonds that our fraternity has been forming since 1848 are strong and unyielding to time. You will find, as we graduate brothers have found, that your fraternal bonds will last long past college, through the highs and the lows of life. You will be groomsmen at each other's weddings and pallbearers at each other's funeral. You will be brothers always. This legacy of our fraternity, our extraordinary brotherhood, born at our fraternity's inception, has survived through a civil war, a depression, and 2 world wars. And it is now being gently but firmly placed in your hands, entrusted to your care and leadership. And it is this leadership opportunity that is the second substantial benefit that our fraternity is now providing to all of you. Because as wondrous as your friendships are, if your experience at Phi Gamma Delta is limited only to extraordinary friendships, brothers, you're cheating yourself. For while our fraternity does offer close friends for life, that is only incidental to her genius. She contemplates something higher and deeper. The beauty of our fraternity lies in transforming lives, in inspiring brothers to serve each other, their campus, and the community with the very best that is in them. Our fraternity now provides to each of you an extraordinary opportunity to learn in a supporting environment how to lead with courage, how to achieve, and perhaps most importantly, how to fail, and how to have the courage to try again, how to be persistent. The real world is not the place to learn these skills. Rather, learn them now when you have brothers who can advise you, counsel you, and pick you up when you stumble. As you begin your terms, you will learn that there are days for achieving and days merely for surviving. And on those survival days, when it is difficult to press on, you will learn when and how to pick yourself up and when to ask for a hand up, and find that you will get 2, 10, 20 hands offered to you in return to pick you up, dust you off, and get you back in the race, because your brothers want you to succeed. Your co-workers will not do that for you. Your fraternity brothers will. So seize the leadership opportunity you've been provided. Take advantage of the unique gift our fraternity has provided to you to serve and lead with the best that is in you. Remember what you have seen and learned here, the inspiring results from dedication to ritual, the extraordinary accomplishments of Tyler Jury obtained from 4 years of hard work and perseverance, the valuable contribution each of you can make in your individual roles as officers and chairmen, and collectively as a cabinet and a chapter. Remember the many good points made this morning by Sam Davidson, the subtle but important distinction between he has potential and he had potential. Remember the crucial question, which you can hopefully now answer with a resounding yes. The new year has started. Has your year started? And most of all, remember the enthusiasm, dedication, and brotherhood you have seen in brothers of all ages from across 2 countries. So now, return to your chapters and colonies, armed with knowledge, imbued with ardor for our cause, and keen to carry our banner to the forefront. Your challenge, your task, is to convey the enthusiasm and fire you have witnessed, and the knowledge you have gained, and inspire your brothers as hopefully you have been inspired. Set your personal goals and your chapter goals high. No, set them impossibly high. Because, brothers, frankly, if you don't fail to achieve some of your goals, you haven't set them high enough. Remember, as Thomas Edison said, failure is an event, not a person. Do not be afraid of it. You know your limitations and your chapter's limitations. Exceed them. Turn a weakness into a strength. Do not be satisfied with just being the best fraternity on campus. Do not rest until your chapter is so superior that it is the elite organization by which all other campus and community organizations are judged, unmatched, unrivaled, and unparalleled. Pity the doubters and the naysayers that try to get in your way, because you know, although you may face adversity and struggles, and maybe even failure, you know that will pass. What will not pass is your character, your principles, and your brotherhood. Strengthen all of these now, so that when you look back at the difficult times you will inevitably face in your terms and throughout your lives, you will see that during these difficult times, you did not cower or crawl until these times passed. You stood tall, maintained your principles and character, withstood the difficulties, and you persevered. Have the courage to lead, the courage to fail, and the courage to try again. Because as we know better than anyone else, nothing in the world can take the place of persistence. Talent will not. Nothing is more common than unsuccessful men with talent. If you know this, join in. Genius will not. Unrewarded genius is almost a proverb. Education will not. The world is full of educated derelicts. Persistence and determination alone are omnipotent. The slogan, "Press on," has solved and always will solve the problems of the human race. Now, brothers, return to your chapters and your colonies and live that.